Okay, hello students. So, our last class we start korisilu China. Okay, how China started their journey of development. Then we saw the consequences, how they ended their economic stagnation. Okay, and aji amar dota aru next time jitu korim hetu hol economic reforms have not reached everyone in China. Okay, so this is one of the points in your book that has economic reforms touched everyone in China. So the answer is no. The China is no doubt growing as a global economy, but everyone in China is not benefited by this growth. Okay, so if we see, first of all, we will find that although it is growing, but the unemployment problem is also there in China. So it is estimated that about 100 million people are still unemployed and they are looking for jobs in China. Okay, secondly, you will find that the rate of female unemployment is too high in China. Okay, and also the working conditions. Okay, the work conditions are very much bad in China. So their work conditions are compared to those work conditions of Europe in the 18th and 19th century. So today we are living in the 21st century, and you see still their working conditions are not hygienic, the work hours, the wages, etc. So they are not much proportional to what is put in. And also you will find that China in their this pursuit of development, in their pursuit of becoming a global power, they have utterly disappointed the environment. Okay, environmental degradation and corruption have increased. Okay, so you will find cheap products are being produced. Okay, you take the example of the cheaply rated mobile phones. Okay, how they are giving such at cheap rates? So obviously they are compromising with the quality. Okay, so these compromising with the quality means those which are not environment friendly products, they are using materials they are using in their products. Okay, and also you will find that there is gross inequality in China between some areas, like those living in the rural and the urban areas. Okay, those living in the coastal and the inland provinces. So there is difference in their economic statuses. Okay, so we can say that economic reforms have not touched everyone in China. Now next we have why Chinese economy recognized at the global level. So for this you will find that regionally and globally China has become an economic power. Okay, so this has been the result of many reasons, like in the trading sector today the Chinese economy has integrated. Okay, there is lot of interdependence today. Many of the countries are dependent on China. Okay, and because of this dependence China has been able to have a very considerable, that is prominent influence with its trade partners. Okay, now it was having certain issues with Japan, USA, or the ASEAN and the Russians, but you will find because of this interdependence, this issues that they have within themselves, the bilateral issues or like that. So you will find that these countries, they do not want to end up in a bad note with China. Okay, so because of this economic consideration their relations have been tempered, you can say like that. Then Taiwan is a province, okay, which China regards that it belongs to it, and Taiwan is one of a very important global power. Okay, and China says that it has its control over Taiwan. Then ASEAN. So ASEAN, we did in the last class, you saw that some of the countries who are members of the ASEAN, no doubt they are rich countries, but some of them are very poor. And China has given a lot of economic contribution, and it has brought a stability to the ASEAN economies. Okay, after the 1997 financial crisis. So like that, China has also been able to get the support of the ASEAN nations. Then outward investment means China is not only looking into its own continent or regional powers like Asian or Southeast Asian, but it has also invested, or it has provided aid and help to some of the Latin American, African countries. Okay, so these are also helping China to project itself as a global power. Okay. Okay, then the last part that we have, India-China relations. So at present we can hear a lot of India-China relations being talked about. We have seen that a very serious border disputes are going on between India and China. Okay, in Ladakh or in Jammu and Kashmir, or you also hear Kisuman like in our nearby Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, so let's see India-China relations. And this India-China relations, we can divide it into various periods. Okay, so when and here one thing I would like to tell you, tumalokor India-China relations, tumalokor Indian book khonoto paba, ar yato paba, contemporary. Okay, but for both books, your content will be little bit, you have to modify the contents. Okay, in case of the Indian book, Indian part, that tumalokor mainly as a India-China war of 1962. So from that point of view, you have to write 1962 keneke amar war start hol, key hol, consequences and all. Okay, but contemporary our part 2 ase like we have a like periodic discussion, like what has been the relation in the past till date. Okay, so he duta tumalike olo mon diba jetia porikhat ahibo je amak kuntu partot hudise. Okay, so moi at soa tumalike 6ta period divide koriso India China relation. So first of all, you will find before independence. So before independence, both China and India, they were powerful countries in their own respective areas. Okay, and there was very much limited political and cultural interaction between the two countries. As such, they were less familiar about each other. Okay, so that we are talking about before independence. After independence, you will find that is India became independent in 47. China got their independence in 1949. Okay, and after independence, both these countries, they started off on friendly gestures. Okay, and I think in your Indian book you will get and that India was one of the first nations to recognize People's Republic of China. Recognize মানে হল যেতিয়া এখন নতুন নেশন ফর্ম হয় আমাৰ ওয়ার্ল্ডত, বাকি যিবিলাক এক্সিস্টিং নেশন থাকে তাহাঁতে ৰেকগনিশ্যন দিব লাগে যে আমি ৰেকগনাইজ কৰিছোঁ এখনক এখন নতুন দেশ হিচাপে। এণ্ড যেতিয়ালৈকে ৰেকগনিশ্যন নিদিয়ে সেই দেশখন লগত আমি ফৰেন ৰিলেশ্যন ষ্টাৰ্ট কৰিব নোৱাৰোঁ। Okay, so India was one of the foremost countries to give their recognitions to PRC. Also, যেতিয়া China United Nations ot বহুত lately admit hoise China. Okay, so tahatar admission to India বহুত khini advocacy korisile. Also tumalake Indian book ot etu in details ot paba 1954 ot India aru China Panchashil agreement sign korisile. Okay, India tetia Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru asile, China Zhou Enlai asile, dujone tahati sign korisile. Okay, according to that Panchashil bahut kita amar majot agreement hoisile. So in details you will get in your other book. Okay, so after independence both the nations were helping each other because ami dukhon country colonial powers under asilo, amar problems similar asile, amar conditions geographical hog all of similar asile. So both countries they were cooperating with each other. Okay, but then you will find relations started becoming bitter. Okay, so comes the period after 1957. So ইয়াত তোমালোকে কেবাটাও ৰিজন আছে কিয় 57 ৰ পিছত ইণ্ডিয়া চাইনা ৰিলেশ্যনশ্বিপ বেয়া হ'ল বা what were the contentious issues. Okay, so I would like you all to hear properly. So first was Tibet issue. So again Indian part you will find that there was a huge crisis between India and China because of Tibet. Okay, because China hodai koi ase Tibet belongs to China. Okay, but India jetia Dalai Lama refused dile asylum dile political asylum disile India 1958 ot tetia China koisile je India tahator internal matters ot interfere korise because 1954 ami jikhon Panchashil sign korisilo tar asile je ami ikhone hikhon dekhor internal affairs ot mat namatu ba interfere nokoru but and Tibet China considered Tibet as their internal affair and India jetia Dalai Lama hoy Tibeter spiritual leader. Okay, so India jetia tiong asylum dile jetia China tiong maribole ghuri sile tiong kheri sile tetia India yat ashroy dile tetia that issue. Okay, it became it made the India China relations bitter. Then again you know we have a border dispute with China secondly. Okay, so Aksai Chin always China has been demanding Rakchasin belongs to them. Etio tumalage dekhise Doklamot ki hoyese. Okay, bahut territory tahati amar occupy korise aba heti koy je tahator hoy boli. So tahati Macmahon line to ketio maniye noloy. Then 1962 we had a war with China. Okay, that was another issue. It like some 1957 under koesu. Then fourthly Chinese assistance to Pakistan. So 1965, 1971, 1999 we had war with Pakistan, Pakistan war, and in all these wars you will find China has given full support to Pakistan. Okay, and also on the Kashmir issue, Kashmir belongs to Pakistan, so this is mostly supported by China. Okay, and also you will find that sometimes they don't stamp the passports of Kashmir because they regard this state as controversial. And then nuclear test issues, the sixth point you can say. So India tested its nuclear test in 1974, and China considered that it as a nuclear blackmail by India against its small neighbors against China. So after 1957 you will find because of these reasons there has been lot of dispute between India and China. Okay, then after 1970s, the next period, a lot of improvement have come because there was a change in Chinese leadership. There was more pragmatic ideology they tried to advocate. Okay, and the new leadership, they believed in ending the issues with India through talks. Okay, both they pledged that we will not use force. Okay, as because we both are growing as rising powers and in global politics, and if we resort to force, it is like demerit for both the two nations. Okay, then we have Rajiv Gandhi's visit in 1988. So Rajiv Gandhi, after India's independence, he was the first prime minister to visit China. So before him nobody had visited China. So when he went to China's visit, so a lot of you can say bilateral talks were conducted, a lot of decisions were taken, like that a lot of measures will be taken to contain peace and tranquility in the region. Agreements were signed on cultural exchanges, trade, science and technology. Okay, bilateral and trade between China and India was also increased, and at the global level also both the two countries agreed to cooperate with each other on conflictual issues and raise similar policies in international organizations like World Trade Organization. So these were the outcomes of Rajiv Gandhi's visit. Okay, and lastly, recent times. Okay, so recent times you will find we are having more talks with each other. The Chinese presidents, they have visited India. Okay, prime minister, presidents, more official visits have been there, more head of the government's visits have been there, and more talks have been there to resolve boundary questions. But still you will find that at present we are having some sort of tension relationship between China because of border disputes. Okay, so basically লিখিব নালাগে, অলপকে এনে লিখিবা যে at present আমাৰ border dispute হৈ আছে বুলি, বেছি ডিটেইলছতো যাব নালাগে. Okay, এণ্ড তোমালোকে আনচাৰটো কিছুমান ছাজেশ্যনছ দি এণ্ড কৰিব পাৰা যে কেনেকৈ ইণ্ডিয়া চাইনা ৰিলেশ্যনছ ভাল কৰিব পাৰি, যেনেকৈ লাইক উই কেন হেভ মোৰ ট্ৰান্সপৰ্ট কমিউনিকেশ্যন লিংকছ. অ'কে, দেৰ কেন বি মোৰ ইকনমিক এণ্ড গ্ল'বেল কনচাৰ্নছ because we both are growing powers and we both belong to the same region. So instead of fighting with each other, if we come together, there we can have a more positive and sound relationship. Okay, so like this you can end your answer.